Mike and I are going to talk today about using lasers in wood turning. Now, we're not going to turn with the laser. We're not going to use it to cut the wood. But the laser can be a good guide to tell you what you're doing when you're working inside a hollow piece. And Mike's going to demonstrate the rig that he built, which uses the laser to, I call it laser guided hollowing rather than laser hollowing, because the laser doesn't actually do the work. And Mike's going to show us how that works with his rig, which is very suitable for large pieces that have a lot of depth. One of the problems with hollowing for myself, and I don't have a lot of experience with it, is holding the tool still while you're cutting inside the piece, because frequently you're cutting through a small hole and you have a large offset, and it makes it tough to keep the tool upright and in the right position inside to work. So Mike built what's called an outrigger, a Jameson style tool, which traps the holder for the hollowing tool between these two horizontal rests, and while it rests on the normal tool rest, this keeps the tool from torquing and makes it a lot easier to control. Well, as a result of the steadiness that this tool, this system provides, you can mount a laser, as Mike has done, that will point down at the tool and give you an indication of where you are inside the piece. Now, for people who are expert hollowers and are used to using things like the Stewart system, this is probably all a waste of time because they can do it a lot faster by hand. But for people like myself and Mike, who are just learning to do hollowing, this is an easy way to get started and maybe avoid putting the tool through the side of the work a few times. Now, I have a laser pointer, which I'm going to pass around. I think Mike bought this one at Walgreens or someplace.
I'm not sure where we got that.
But anyhow, these things are available at lots of stores around the area. You can get them at drugstores. You can get them at places like Home Depot, Office Max, grocery store checkout counters. And these are, frequently used by people who give demonstrations to point at things on the screen or on the wall.
Laser pointer.
A laser pointer, and basically that's
what do they cost?
What did you pay for this one?
I don't. We paid, I think, $5.
These cost me. I bought 5 of these. They cost me $4.50 a piece with batteries. Now the batteries cost $6. So anytime I need more batteries, I'm just going to buy more of these.
What did they do? Roll up the truck?
These came from a company called All Electronics. And it's allelectronics.com if any of you are on the web, and they'll sell you something that costs 50 cents. They sell alkaline batteries, rechargeable cells that you can solder into your nickel cadmium tools that go bad for $1 a piece. You can order 1 battery from them, they'll send it to you, and you can repair an old tool if you want. www.allelectronics.com. I'm going to pass this laser pointer around. Don't look directly into the laser when you turn it on. It's not a very high-powered laser, but it can damage the retina. This is a standard laser pointer, and the dot that it projects is about 1/4 of an inch in diameter, maybe slightly larger. On this one, it also came with about 1/4 inch dot. I took it apart and filled up the hole with JB weld that the laser comes out, the light comes out of, and oops, turned it on, didn't I? I filled it up with JB weld and re-drilled it with the smallest number drill that I had, and then refocused it by adjusting the lens when I put it back in place, and it now projects a dot that's quite a bit smaller than 1/4 of an inch in diameter, and it makes it easier to know. Well, you'll see. We'll turn it on and you can see. So anytime you're ready, Mike. The first thing to do is to adjust the laser so that it points either at the tip of the tool that you're going to turn with, or set it just as far off the tool as you want the wall thickness to be. We're going to have a little bit of a...
It's all right.
One of the things that's going to happen here is this piece is no longer round because it's not mounted in the chuck it was originally mounted in, and it's been off the lathe for quite a while. So as a result of not turning the outside and then turning the inside, we're going to end up with a variable wall thickness here, but it will still give the point of the demonstration.
It's off.
You want it there?
No, it's off.
You want to move it?
There, okay, I'll hold it right there. I'll block it right there.
All right, you ready?
Turn it around. Now, this is a piece of Norfolk Island pine that's been laying around that I played with a while back, so I thought it'd make a good demo.
Let's get that thing back on.
Yeah, we only use it.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's switch to another piece. I'm going to switch to another piece here that's no. This has a fairly large opening, which would be a lot easier to hollow just using a gouge, but this allows you to see what's going on inside while we're turning on the... This around.
Yeah.
This is a piece of catalpa.
This is weird.
What?
Let's get this up to minutes.
Watch the cable that come with it. Move his camera.
You can see that as you get closer to the outside, the dot moves down the outside. Touching the side. Mike?
Okay.
When the dot, as you cut deeper into this piece, as you get closer to the outside wall, the dot moves down the side of the piece. When the dot is just half touching on the side, you'll know that the dot, you've got the distance, the wall thickness that you set it to originally with the laser. Turn the other side first, make it round.
I think.
One of the things about the laser is that it makes it possible to follow a very convoluted outside shape on the inside. If you've got a bunch of bumps and ridges and grooves and you want to make the wall thickness consistent throughout, you can follow all of that without having to worry about your linear placement and maybe cutting through the side even though you're not cutting larger than you intended to.
You pull it out and check it to make sure you're aimed right?
Never.
Brian, even once in the meeting.
With this setup, it stays very, very
Stable.
You said you preset the laser to the tools so that the wall thickness you want.
Yes.
Yes.
You can set this laser off the edge of this tool. I put my thumbnail on there.
Autumn, you might want to pull that off and bring it up.
That gives you
Oh, with a hand
the
hold.
thick wall thickness?
Yes.
Then you said the laser light will come down. Explain
When you
the
get
side, when you got the correct wall thickness.
When you've got the correct wall thickness,
Come up here. Come up close and look down. Look down on the dot.
I can't see what's the TV.
Here. Maybe you're not tall enough.
I got it.
Okay.
Yeah, see, we set that wall thickness off the edge of your laser, or off the edge of your tool. And you can set that anywhere you want on that in relation to how you cut.
Yeah, like this. Brian, explain that again.
okay. As Mike just said, what you do is you set the laser so that the dot is the wall thickness away from the end of the tool. Then when you're cutting on the inside, when the laser dot is barely touching on the outside of the wood, you have that thickness. As soon as the laser comes completely off the wood, you've gone thinner than you set it to. Carl?
Look down again.
You
No,
don't
down there.
have to worry about resetting the laser as long as you're always cutting at the same part of the tool. If you get down deeper and start cutting off a different.
Yes, that is a good point, Carl.
So you can move your laser anywhere in relationship to, if you're cutting on the end, you might want to put your laser off the end. If you're cutting off the side, you might want to move it on a 45 or a 90.
If you're using a very pointed tool, it's not as much of a problem. But if you've got a large rounded tip, say you're using a 3/8 tool bit for your scraper inside, or even a wide scraper trying to get a finish on the inside of your piece, you may want to be aware of where you're at in the piece, because if you're cutting up towards the shoulder, you can cut through it still if you've set it off to this side rather than to the back side, and vice versa on the front.
And I think at this point, a word of caution when using this type of system. If you're cutting a 1/4 inch wall thickness, your error of margin isn't too great. If you're down to a 50 or 60 thousandths wall thickness, I think you can still get into trouble. These lasers to me aren't yet quite perfect as they could be. This is a work in progress as well. And so Brian and I think it's still got some maybe modifications that could be made better. Maybe there's other people that have some ideas that make it better. But the thing is, it's working. And it makes my job easier when I want to do some deep hollow rather than have to worry about it. And I'm just as happy with a 1/4 inch or 3/16 wall thickness as I am trying to get down to a very small, thin wall.
Do you pre-bore a hole through the piece first before you use that?
No.
It's not necessary.
Don't
Depending on, if you use a straight cutter, you can bore down through with it.
Yeah, but if you're using the side, can you use the same cutter when you're using the side as you go deep?
You may want to change cutters because
It must be one of theirs.
Oh, they're passing that around. No. They're passing it around.
I usually drill a hole first.
The end of your laser.
Here is one cutter that I'm using. This isn't the tool bit that came with it. Here are some of the other tool bits that I purchased.
These are the
McNaught.
Kelton Industries McNaughton hollowing system.
So you like, here's a straight one, here's one, you know, and I've made a couple that trying to process the information through different bends and thicknesses. So a lot of this here process is up to you and your imagination in using it. But it does make the job easier.
One of the problems with the system, it takes time to set up. People with the Stewart tool who know what they're doing can get in there quick and probably hollow something out in the time it takes maybe Mike or me to hollow something. But on the other hand, for people like us who don't have a lot of experience with it, this works really well.
And where's the rush?
Well,
Anybody in the audience like to give it a try?
the other thing is, some of us have problem with our hands, and we can't control
That's a very good
as
point.
well because our hands aren't as strong as they used to be. And this, I think, will help, even, you know, regardless of using the laser or not. It helps because of the way the thing is attached and supported.
Mike,
$5 for the laser.
it's $5 for the laser, and Mike built the rest of it. The Kelton Industry tools were relatively expensive. The other thing I want to mention is these batteries wear out because they're just these little tiny hearing aid batteries. They wear out pretty fast. So
I thought that was a pre-manufactured unit.
it's got little hearing aid batteries in it.
I'm talking about all the rest of it.
This here, no, I built this.
You can buy this.
Brian and I built
I
this.
think that Craft Supplies sells the Jameson hollowing rig, which is just this bar and maybe this secondary tool rest for $180. It does not come with a laser mount on it, but there is a laser available from Craft Supplies.
There's a whole system that, if you look through the last AAW,
Yes.
it's advertised.
I saw it in there too.
It's called AccuLaser is the company.
Is that the one
$400
Texas?
Yeah, it's a guy in Texas puts a whole system together. It's about $170 or something like that.
Plus the top.
This is the top piece.
Well, Jameson
Oh, yeah,
makes the
Aculaser
bar.
is just the top.
Right.
It's a different mounting system. He does
Yeah.
one bar and it has a flexible.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Do you have to have a beer to use this equipment?
It
No, but it
helps.
helps.
Keeps it out of the shirt.
That's it.
I knew it was.
Does anybody want to give this one a try before I switch to the smaller hollowing rig?
Let's see the smaller.
Okay.
You want to take this off?
Brian,
Sure.
Take it off.
did you ever think, you know, all the systems doing is giving you
Yes.
Could you use let's say a wire that had flex capability, so when you go in vertical.
Have you ever seen the, who is it, Sorby?
Yeah, well, that's the
Is
important.
it Sorby that makes the tool with the wire that comes around the side,
Yeah,
the feeler on it, and you cut until the feeler doesn't bounce on the side of the piece anymore?
I tried it. I couldn't use it. It bothered me. But
That's similar to what you described.
It works good. It works better if I'm on the other side of the lathe, because I'm right-handed, and it's a little easier to use. But I can do that one time. And if I had, you taking waxing bars up good, so everything gets nice and smooth, put some good paste wax on there, you can sit there one hand and one arm. Allow you to get it all leveled out and balanced, you go anywhere you want.
please be seated. We won't want everybody up in the front. The camera will get it.
Now, this is a rig that I designed to do the same job. It's made for doing smaller pieces, and because it does smaller pieces, it doesn't require a lot of extra setup back here. It all rests right in the tool rest. It makes it quick, quicker to put on and take off.
Using the same laser?
I'm using the same laser because I ran out of batteries. This rig, on this rig, the tool is contained by these 2 bars in the back, and that's what keeps it from torquing. And I'll just show you how it works.
But there's a square.
Yeah, it's a rectangular piece here. This is 3/4 inch tool steel, and these are 1/2 inch bars. Now I'm using a 1/4 inch tool steel metal lathe tool bit that's been rounded out to a scraper for the cutter. This unit will fit in our mini lathes. It'll fit in the jets, and it also works in the machines that have the 1 inch.
How accurate is it?
Sorry?
Your setting, does it stay accurate like the other one?
Yes. Yes. I've had no problem. I've got this set up to about a 16, maybe a little more.
Right. I think when it was remounted in there, it's not exactly centered, so that the bouncing is not necessarily the laser light bouncing, but actually the wood is out of
the laser's bouncing here, but the whole tool is bouncing at the same time, so it's not it's not getting out of relationship.
Right, but I think the wood is
yeah, it would probably help if I was taking
not
the
centered.
bowl gouge and turn this thing around on the outside right now. But
I'm trying to turn it too thin.
But what I was going to say here is, you can see now how the laser, the spot gets longer. Up here, it's basically a round dot. As it gets down closer and closer to the side, it becomes more like a line. And when you've got a line down the side of your piece, you're there.
When the line disappears,
When the line disappears, you went too far, go back. Anyone who would like to give it a try to come up here and try it. This tool I've also designed to use smaller cutters. It's designed so you can put a 3/8 piece in here. This is drill rod, by the way, that's used to hold the cutters. And you can go down to a 1/4 inch, so you can work through even smaller holes on smaller pieces. If you want to do some real miniature hollowing, you can get down and do that too. Anybody have any questions?
Good, great idea.
How much you charge for making them?
You know, I hadn't figured it out. I was going to, I have another one that's half finished, and when I get it done, I'm going to bring it into the club, and I'm going to leave it here, and it'll belong to the club, and it can go out with the tool library. And then after you people have used it for a while, you can tell me what you think needs to be done to change it, make it better.
This is our second try at hollowing. This one was the first one, it's a little big, and that's our second one. And that probably fit a lot of purposes better than the big one.
I have one more thing to show you here. Just came up with this a couple of nights ago.
caliper.
It's a caliper. And you can put it on your piece, and you adjust it.
Needs a bubble level.
Well, yeah, I didn't have time to put it on, but yes, the bubble level would be helpful to keep it here in the proper place. But it also needs a fine adjustment screw. But this was a close approximation for a quick try. But there are some places where you just can't get with a regular caliper because you got two legs. one trying to reach around the outside, one around the inside. With something like this, you eliminate the problem of the second leg.
I know.
The relationship remains the same, this is important.
Yes, the relationship remains the same. The only thing that you got to watch out for on this is if you get it tipped too far, this way or that way or the other way. But like John said, the addition of a bubble level on the top here, a spirit level with a circle in it, will eliminate that problem.
And the gyro.
Have a segue, right?
These are laser.
Yes. Yeah. That's a good thing on the next version. Does anybody want to give this rig a try?
No, from the front. See, there's a bar across the front. That's like a toothbrush. There's a toothbrush with a mat. So you can't, it won't go from this
Really close up here.
It won't pull it down.
Take some more out there. Yes.
John.
Don't worry about it.
Let me get a picture of
This
him.
is like hands-on, so if they're in the way, it's okay.
Is that what it is? Hands on. Get it?
Yeah.
Put your hands on it.
Right. Why don't you set up, focus on the tool. Like, perfect, that's perfect. Just you can zoom in a little bit.
Look at the dot. I am. Oh, okay.
That's good.
Hey, you're turning into a line again.
It must be awfully thin, Sam, because I can see the laser coming from the sides of the piece.
It's the light on the outside. We can see the light from the inside.
No, not particularly. I'm just looking at the mechanics.
And it gives a pretty good finish on the inside. You know, scrapers.
Oh, you're gonna go down.
Yeah, Mike's give me the tool.
Well, that's your... To get back to all that work, send me an email.
No, they broke. They broke.
Kimberly answered me and I haven't heard anything.
Put the laser running on the outside, and your tool is working on the inside. Or you set a thickness here, approximate thickness that you want. It would be like, I usually set it about 1/4 of an inch or 3/8 of an inch. And so you put this here, and your laser, you know that you got it. But as your laser goes up about 30, and your laser,
right.